Hi, my name is Nitin, and today we are at Turner and Townsend office at in Gurgaon, and we have with us Ms. Aarti Gupta, who is a MRICS, and we are here to understand her journey in the field or probably in built environment. So, thank you for joining us, Aarti.
Thank you.
So, please help us with your introduction.
Okay. So, hi everyone. I'm Aarti Gupta. I'm working as an area manager in Turner and Townsend. Overall, I'm having 13 years of experience, and I have done the electrical engineering, and I'm also a MRICS.
Good. So, with this many years of experience working in a QS, help us understand first what QS or quantity surveying is, or what does it mean for a professional who would want to get into this built environment as a career option.
Okay. So, I'll just tell this in a very layman language that it is about monitoring and managing the cost throughout the project lifecycle, which starts from the feasibility of the project and it comes to the handover and the completion of the project.
Right. So it's again a very broad area. So when we talk about feasibility of the project, or let's say, what kind of projects does the quantity surveyor looks at, and probably the scale, the various elements to it. What are these?
So, actually, in construction, any kind of project. So, it doesn't stop you only to the residential or commercial. It includes residential, commercial, retail, mixed use developments, and then office interior fit out project, manufacturing units, warehouses. So it includes everything. So if I say in layman language, so majorly the QS is a monitoring and managing the cost throughout the project life cycle, and it includes the two major parts, which is a pre-contract and post-contract.
Mm-hmm.
So if I talk about pre-contract, comes the benchmarking, feasibility stage, cost plans. Then in every design stage, say concept, schematic, DD design, tender, and then the GFC stage. So the preparation of the cost estimates, because the every design stage have a updation of the design.
Right.
So at every design stage, there will be a cost plan submission. Then also it covers the tendering and procurement, right? And then the value engineering. So these all parts are part of the pre-construction or pre-contract works. Okay. When we come to post-contract works, it includes the payment certification, which is a billing process, and then it also includes the change management process, which is a variation claims. If there is any kind of variation which is coming in the project, so that is also all part of change management process, or you can say the claim management. And then the completion and handover of the complete project. So this is a vast and this is a big what I feel is people have a myth about it that QS is only limited to the quantification, but actually it is very vast. There is a different kind of process. There are different kind of career options which is there in the cost management and QS.
So there are a lot of things actually we can probably deep dive in all those areas when we move further. So when starting with that, so has QS been your first choice when you wanted to enter into career, or probably take us through your journey, how you happened to be here?
So almost, as I have told you, 13 years ago, I started my career with a contracting firm. So I was working with Ramki Structure Limited. So I'm basically electrical engineer. So I've started to understand the construction process at site. And after working at site for 2.5 years, I moved to the quantity surveying field.
Okay.
So when I started my career in QS, to be frank, I was not having a good idea about the quantity surveying and the cost management. But gradually, when I started learning about it, when I started getting the understanding about it and the construction and everything, I think I've started liking it. So now, like after one position, when I was looking to be a leader and to be a people manager, I have got into the MICS accreditation, and I think that has supported me so well. And yeah, here I am.
Oh, that's perfect. And actually, you brought out a very interesting concept that you do not have to be a civil engineer or probably an architect to be in this particular kind of industry or role.
Yeah.
And probably being a hotel management or electrical engineer, or probably a computer engineer as well, you can very well land into this space and work or probably build as a career option.
Yeah, definitely.
So now taking a step ahead, now being a female, help us understand how easy or difficult was it to get to this journey and get that kind of exposure working in this the field of quantity surveying? How easy or difficult was it?
So I know it is like very infamous. Construction industry is very infamous for females, but I don't think it is, because now it is changing drastically. You must have seen there are so many women who are working in the construction industry, and they are at a very good position. So especially if I talk about the QS and commercial management, so we have both kind of work. We are working from office also, and we are working from site also.
Okay.
So that kind of feasibility is there, and also in the post contract or in the construction site also, like now women are everywhere. So and now they have started to build that kind of environment also, because we are promoting diversity and inclusion. So now the site people and the developers who and the client is also developing that kind of environment at site, that the women feel safe to work there, right? So I think people should adopt, and especially for women, I'm telling, they should adopt this as a career choice, because there is so many things you can explore it. There is, as I've told you, there is the procurement, there is the tendering, there is the claim management, valuation, risk assessment. There is so many things which you can explore. So yeah.
Right, so it's as good as joining any other industry. It's comfortable
definitely.
and simple.
Yeah, definitely.
In that terms.
And I'll say you, I must say this, because there are so much of work going on currently in the construction industry, and then we do not have the good resources, because I'm also part of HR work stream, where I'm hiring the people, and I'm seeing the kind of expertise we are looking, people are lacking. Right. So I definitely tell the people to be in the construction industry, because we have very limited people who are having that kind of expertise, and yeah, they can actually grow very very exponentially here.
Right. So there is much scope of growth there.
Yeah.
So while we are talking about that, help us understand what is the kind of a skill or talent required for someone to be in this industry and grow exponentially.
So as I've told you, I'm an electrical engineer. So I think after the graduation, so if you have done the graduation from your core branches, which is civil, mechanical, electrical, chemical, anything. So after that, there is a schools of like RICS, MET University provide that kind of QS and commercial management courses. Then we have a NICMAR. So these institutes are there who provide this particular kind of courses. So you can adopt that courses, and you can be a part of any QS and project management team.
So let's say someone does not have this kind of exposure, or do not want to get into masters or further rounds of education, and the person might have probably 1 or 2 years of experience, who would want to jump into construction or a real estate kind of model. How easy or difficult for him or her would it be to start, and the basic level of skills required?
Okay, so see, I have also not done the post graduation. So I have done the engineering, and after that, after some year, I have done the MRICS accreditation. So what my learning is, start learning about the QS and things. So start doing the quantification. There are so many software which are available now. So we are doing the quantification on caustic software. So learn that caustic software and the other softwares which are available, and then get into the BOQ detailing and all. And then gradually, when you start learning, I think at one point when you are going to a leadership role and the people management role, that time I think you may think, okay, there is some kind of certification or some kind of accreditation you require. So that time you can go with the MRICS or PMP. Okay. So these certification will provide you that kind of support to enhance your professionalism. So yeah.
So it's as easy to land up in any other profession, starting early in a probably a junior level or executive level role, working on the projects probably at the site or at the office, getting those numbers or reports prepared, and as the person grows, they can very well take up these kind of qualifications.
Definitely. And keep updating yourself. So there are so much of new technologies which are coming. So keep updating yourself. Don't be don't be a last season. So keep updating yourself.
Right.
So that is very important.
So while we are talking about this, help us understand probably what is the routine looks like in the office, or probably how often do you work from office, home, or site? Because the notion is that a person who is working in the construction industry is probably wearing a yellow hat and standing on the construction site, eating all the dust and mud throughout the day, and they are working, let's say, long 18 hours or so. So what's your view about that?
So actually, this is not true. This is misconception. So actually, so it depends on the client requirements and project to project. So you can work from home also, you can work from office also, and site also. So if you are working from home, maybe you are working on a project which is Mind project. So Mind is a Make in India project. So where there are so many projects and so many companies, what they are doing is they are taking the work from outside, especially from Saudi countries. And then that kind of work we are doing here. So we are doing the quantification for them, we are doing the BOQ preparation from them. So I think that you can sit anywhere and do that.
So that's a remote support, right?
Remote support, what we are providing. So this is actually growing so much right now. So it's not only the Saudi countries, there are other countries also who are taking that kind of support, that kind of manpower from us, because what I can see, we are much qualified for this. We have that kind of expertise. The timelines, we are able to achieve that timeline also.
Right.
So that kind of work you can do from home as well, right? Then if come to office, then office also, like the pre-contract stage, which I have told you, which includes the budgeting, costing, and the BOQ preparation, tendering, procurement, you can do from office. So that's not an issue, because everything, every plan, everything you will be getting on your laptop. All the drawings, all the BOQs, everything available on the laptop. You can have a Teams meet with your client. You can go to their office and you can have the meeting. So everything you can do here in this premises and the office. And when it comes to post contracts, definitely you have to be there at site, because it is majorly talking about the bill certifications and checking the bill at site, bill auditing. So that time you have to be at site. So in QS and cost management, you have every kind of work,
right?
And it's completely depends on the client requirements.
Perfect. So when you are at site, what all types of people you work with? Because again, there is a notion that you work with blue collar employees all the time. You are just trying to hit the nail and get the work churn out fast. So what kind of role or people that you get involved with?
Now it is changing. It is, I think this myth is continuously, it is going on. It is, yeah. So definitely, as I've started also, definitely before it was not, it was infamous to be safe and to be very like a normal place to work on, but it is not like that. Now the construction places have a proper big offices set up, and all the employees and everything, clients itself sits there. So it's not like that you have to deal every day with the labors and everything. And I must say, if you're doing it also, it is good for your learning, because I have started my career from the contracting firm, and I can say the kind of learning I have received at the site, I think that is the thing which I'm still remembering and using currently when I'm doing something here at office. So if you are doing something in terms of costing, in terms of preparation of the BOQ, in terms of procurement, so you must have the understanding what is happening at site. Then only you can relate it and you can do your work perfectly. So if you cannot imagine, okay, so for example, if one wire is going, right, if you cannot imagine how that wire will be laid at site, you cannot do the quantification. You cannot link it to your BOQ. So I think that kind of exposure is definitely required. If someone is starting their career in the construction industry, I must advise that they should work with the contracting firm or developer firm. So there they will get idea about the site, how the practical things happens.
Right. So as they say, you should have there should be a ground reality to it. Definitely. Or exposure. So being on that ground and looking at things how they are taking shape, that's something where you learn. And essentially, when you are there, you probably look at the land, what are the size and dimensions, what kind of land, soil, and other testing which is being done, how the structure is being raised. Probably you are also dealing with people who are from the architectural background, design elements, banking, probably stakeholders from the bank who are there for valuation and other elements of things. So there are a lot of people you interact with in that.
Yeah, capacity. Definitely. Yeah.
Sure. So probably moving on, help us give a glimpse of a certain project. Let's say we are working on a particular type of building. So we talk about BOQ a lot, a lot. Help us in length of probably what BOQ is, what type of information is captured in BOQ, and how it helps the client or probably other stakeholders to know about how the building or structure will take a shape.
So BOQ is a bill of quantities. So it captures all the details and the description. So for example, if you want to do a PCC, Okay, so it completely, it considers like providing and laying of this much of grade PCC. This would be the configuration, and these things will be included, and these things to be excluded. So it will give you a complete glimpse of what actually to be executed at site. So BOQ is the each and every item which will be a part of that particular work. So if we talk about civil and structure, so it includes all your earthwork, all your excavations, your PCC, your foam work, shuttering, and yeah, so all these things, and then anti-termite treatment. So all these things which needs to start or which needs to be executed at site. So it will be a Bible. So you can say for construction, the BOQ is a Bible. So you have to follow that, because, and you have to be very sure while you are floating or while you are doing the procurement, while you are floating this in the market, because if you miss something, there would be a big impact on the cost also, and the timelines also. So it will obviously impact your project stage, project construction timelines, project cost. So whenever you are floating a BOQ in the market, be sure that all the elements, everything which is shown in the drawing, which is there in the technical specification, is it in line with your BOQ description or not? Because the contractor is there to just grab the opportunity and just tell, okay, this is not here, I need extra claim. So I think we have to be very sure when we are floating the BOQ in the market. So it's like a Bible.
So again, a project management document there, wherein it actually takes care of each of every stage of the construction, what is required to be done, how many probably manpower or the quantity or things will be required to complete the project, and gives the estimate of the overall cost of the structure in that space.
Yes.
Yep. So as we talked about QS, what are the broad services and areas that we really deal with on a day-to-day life?
Okay, so as I've told you, that it's a myth that QS is just restricted to the quantification and the BOQ preparation. There are so many things, and actually so many career options which you can develop in the QS field. So if we talk about the pre-contract works or pre-contract stage, so the quantification is already being covered. Then the cost plan preparation, benchmarking report preparation. Then it comes the all the budgeting, then the procurement and tendering, and risk assessment, then the value engineering. So if I talk about the procurement and tendering, so I think it is itself a career option, because people, especially at the client side, there are so many opportunity in the procurement, right? And if we comes to post contract works, so in post contract works we have complete bill certification, we have this claims management, change management process, and the commercial closeout and handover. So these all are actually a specific area you can develop your career. So it is not only if there is some particular work which, like maybe if you are not very comfortable of doing the quantification, then you start getting to know the contracts. So the contract administration is also part of the QS. So you start getting to know the contracts, you start getting to know about the tendering process, the procurement. So there are actually different options.
And what's there in the procurement part?
Yeah, so if we talk about the procurement, so every project have a different kind of procurement strategy. So when we get a project, so I'll just give you an example. So when we get a office interior fit out project, so maybe there is a client who is developing their office in Gurgaon. So they have around 50,000 square feet of area. So now they are developing their project there. They have given us as a cost management and QS services. So now what is the first step? First step, to do the feasibility check or to prepare a benchmarking report. So what is a benchmarking report? So benchmarking report is to assess that project with the similar kind of project which is done in the market. So if 50,000 or 80,000 square feet area, if we have completed, we have multiple projects. So we must have completed that kind of project with some other client also. So we prepare that kind of benchmarking where we show, okay, this type of project, if it is a first, in which category it falls, if it is a luxury kind of project, or if it is a basic project and it is a mid-range, things would be used. So first we analyze what kind of project it is, and accordingly we link this with the similar kind of projects.
Essentially, it's a comparative analysis of what has been done
Yes.
probably in terms of
And-
cost, effort estimation, and
Yes.
everything.
And then we give a tentative cost to the client. Okay, your project will end up in this much of cost per square feet. And then when the designs start developing, then we'll move to the cost plan preparation. So the first design would be schematic or concept stage design. So we'll get the details from the client in terms of drawings and in terms of MEP DVRs, in terms of maybe they have some guidelines which they need to
Right.
follow. So we get that kind of details from them, and then we start preparing the BOQ based on it, the quantification. If there is a drawings which are available and we can do the quantification from them, we use Caustic software. So we start doing the quantification from that software, and we start we start gathering the quantities. So for example, if this is a wood paneling, so how many wood paneling is required for this project? So there is a light, how many lights are there in this project? So these type of quantification we start doing it, and then we prepare the BOQ, and then according to the market research we do. So if this particular item is there, for example, if this is a light, so this is a ceiling suspended light, what all makes are available? So maybe there is a Bajaj, maybe Philips, Signify, there are multiple makes. So we take the quotes from the market. Okay, this is a 30-watt light, Philips make is there, and then we'll get the quotes from the market, and we prepare the rate analysis of it. So what is there in the rate analysis? It will be the material rate, the supply material rate, then the labor and installation rate would be there. Then obviously that material will not be available. Maybe it's not available here in Gurgaon. Maybe it is coming outside. Or maybe if it is available in Gurgaon, maybe it is their factory is in Noida. So the transportation cost we have to cover. So and then also because client wouldn't be directly purchasing it, they will be giving it to the contractor. So there is a contractor overheads and profits. So these all elements would be there in the rate analysis, and then we arrive that rate. What will be the BOQ item rate would be. Okay. And that's how we prepare the complete BOQ and the quantification and the rate analysis and estimates, and that's how we arrive the total cost of the project. So there are small elements which arrives our complete cost plan, or which arrives our complete cost of the project. Perfect. And there is another team, or probably the execution team or the project management team, who actually implements that. So so in this also there are two prospects. So one is a cost management, where we are doing the BOQ and the cost estimates and everything, and the project management team also. So in some project project managements are also there. So they are mainly dealing the legal things and what is going at the site, and the procurement things and everything. So it depends. So the scope of services is divided into two things. So there is some kind of work which QS and the cost management needs to do, and there's some kind of work which project managers needs to do. Right. So help us understand your MRICS journey, what MRICS means to you, and probably what growth or opportunities you might have seen after MRICS. Like when I was, so I am a graduate, and when I was looking for attaining that people manager role and the leadership role, so that time I have applied for the MRICS accreditation, and because after one position, I think you have to have that kind of professionalism and the leadership skills developed. So and after getting the MRICS accreditation, I feel like it is not only to get the certification, but it is a throughout a journey of learning, of gaining that or getting that knowledge. Because at that time I've connected with multiple people while doing the certification. I've connected with multiple people, and I have gained that kind of knowledge from the industry and their experience. They have shared their experience, and it is like a continuously going on. After receiving the accreditation, I got into the RICS panel, and I have attended and be in a part of many events which is organized by RICS. And I think that is kind of eye opener, that how many things are going around. Because what happens is we stick only to our work, day-to-day job. Okay, this is like a 9 to 5 job. Okay, we have to do this. These are the tasks can be completed. But what is going around? Things are happening in the industry? Who all people are there? What's are their thought? And then there are so many panel discussion which happen. So I think this is supporting. This has supported me to enhance my network, to enhance my visibility also in the market. So before, maybe people wouldn't be knowing me, but when I have got this accreditation, I've started connecting with people. I have started attending the events and the online calls and everything. So I think it is enhanced my network here. And also I'm a part of like I'm an assessor also, MRIC's assessor also, so that also give me kind of visibility and knowledge, like what kind of projects are going on, what kind of work people are doing all around. So yeah, I think it has supported me a lot to grow myself, and I'm sitting here in front of you.
Right. Again, that kind of networking opportunity gives you a lot of, or probably gives you a bigger horizon of things, how industry is shaping up, apart from your role probably within organization or as an organization overall. You get to know what is going on in other areas or other spaces, new technologies, new things which might be coming in. So you have attended an MRIC, Matrix session or probably an event recently. So help us understand your view about Matrix while we talk about Matrix a lot and how it can support, especially the young professionals. So, what is your view and understanding of Matrix?
I think that is a very good initiative, because what happens is that's what people are like just busy in their daily day-to-day works. So I think they got a platform where they can connect with the people. They can understand what the challenges the people have faced. They can interact that, and they can get the understanding. Okay, how I should move further? People who are like very start of their career and who are looking to be a MRICS. So I think it is a very supporting platform where they can access all the senior people who are maybe they are unable to access maybe through LinkedIn or any other portal. So they are directly can access. They can directly ask them the questions, and they can see that the growth path, and they can discuss their growth path with them. So.
Right.
Yeah.
So, that kind of mentoring or probably a piece of advice really in that kind of model really helps them to course correct themselves and take their journey on a fast track mode. Probably, some what they might be able to achieve in 5 or 7 years, they might be able to course correct and do that in 3 years.
3 years, yeah, exactly.
Right, and that's something which really gives us a good overview of how things shape up when you are working for. And again, this is only one part of the whole infrastructure or the built environment opportunity or ecosystem that we're talking about. So there are more roles, and probably we'll cover it with the other experts who are working in these areas. So thank you so much for this insight. The last question, or probably an advice which you would want to talk about for the young professionals who are thinking of building their career in this space?
So I say ask questions. Okay, I think that is the main thing, because people hesitate to ask questions, especially because we also have so many people who have joined as a graduate, and they hesitate to ask questions. They feel embarrassed of asking question. Okay, they feel stupid about me, but please ask questions. So I think that is how you learn and how you start knowing the things. Right. So ask question, keep yourself very open. Don't restrict yourself. Okay, I want to sit in the office and work only here. I don't want to go to site, or it will be so dusty, or it will be very difficult to work there. It will be so sunny. So don't think that. Start your career. Be open. Go to the construction site. Understand what is actually going around, and understand the each and every process. Speak to the foreman, labor, and see that how they are doing that work.
Right.
And I think that is when you will understand all the things, how it is happening at site. And then when you are coming back to office and then you are working, I think no one can like beat your work. It will be so perfect.
Right. So that's a wonderful piece of advice, and I think people who are just apprehensive of what is to be done there might have got some clue in terms of how they can actually structure their approach, the CV, and the skills around that to be able to get into this sector. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you.
Really
Thank you so
appreciate it.
much.